So I've fairly recently done a video talking about the day before and why you should be worried, why you should be concerned. And the concerns go even further after their grand event, their big announcement, because that's all they keep saying. The history of this company is shady. They basically released a game, and around 6 months later or something like that, they said they had to, they were forced to sell the rights to the game to the publisher, but they only did that when the player numbers started declining. Then they made another game, and about 3 months later, the player numbers were declining, so they just abandoned the game. Then they went on to make a mobile game that had about 30 minutes of gameplay. Then, with the hype of the day before, they released a game called Propnight, which has had nothing but problems since they released it. So, with them being unable to keep players interested, actually make working games that are fun and retain a player base, they don't have a good history whatsoever. And they've gone and hyped people up to the point where the day before is, I think it's the second most wishlisted game on Steam at the minute, only being second to Hogwarts Legacy. And we are 2 months out from the supposed release of this game at this current time. The release date at the moment is the 1st of March 2023. We are a few days into January, so there's a little less than 2 months until this game is supposed to come out. And according to them, they've been working on the game for 4 years. They've said they've got big announcements and everything like that. So I went through Twitter, I had a look. Their last tweet about the day before their big announcement for this event, was at the end of June 2022. So they were silent for about 6 months. Then they come out of nowhere, they say they've got this big announcement, and they've done a video called Life at Fntastic. It was nothing to do with the development of the game, it was just how they operate, sort of thing. It was just clips of seeing individual people just sat in really stupid places, like in snowy mountains and stuff, as if that makes a difference to the game. And it's not Life at Fntastic. They're not in a studio. There's no developers sitting there coding and things like that. They basically just put together the most irrelevant video they could have put together. But then there was also a video that was put out by Nvidia. And I don't know how they've got them on board. I don't know how they're partnered with them. But they got them on board. They released a video that was 40 something minutes long. And there was about 20 seconds of footage for the day before in that video. And since they have turned the comments off, the like and dislike ratios disappeared, because I use an extension on Google Chrome, so I can still see an estimate of what the likes and dislikes are doing. And it's all been turned off on the Nvidia video. But not only that, the developers on their YouTube channel have videos that have the likes, dislikes, and comments turned off. So that's just more shady stuff to add to it. But then there's this new gameplay reveal trailer, RTX On. And let's have a look at this, because there's something I would like to point out with this as well. So we're going to play this. It's from GameSpot. I'll leave it linked in the description. But this is their supposed game world. And yeah, it looks quite good. The apartment's built up and all that sort of stuff, but it's nothing like what this game's supposed to be. What are them skyscrapers and stuff in the background? This is all supposed to be an apocalyptic mess. There's supposed to be zombies everywhere and stuff like that. And watch this with the gunplay. I'll get to the part, we'll watch it in real time, and then I'll slow it down and show you. This section right here. So we have a look at this. Watch this. Let's go back. That's literally all you get, by the way. So we're 40 seconds in. This is 58 seconds. And we are 2 months out from release. There should have been early access, a beta, or something like that. This is supposedly an MMO. They want to get the servers and the infrastructure tested and everything like that, and make sure it's all up and running for release. They haven't given players an opportunity whatsoever to get their hands on this game and actually see what it's about. So if we go back here, we're going to slow it down. I'll turn the sound off, so it's going to sound funny anyway. But we go back, we'll put it on 0.25, and watch this. This is one thing I noticed. So no one else is shooting, and you have a look here, and there's a blood splat. The white dot, essentially the crosshair, that's nowhere near that zombie. But there's a blood splat, signalling that someone shot that enemy. But then we go forward to the next clip. Watch this in a moment. Because this gun right here is aiming at the head of this zombie. And look, 1, 2, 3, and then the zombie dies. So it takes 3 shots for a shot to register with this zombie's head. And then it goes down. So there's like hit reg problems in their trailer. It makes no sense. But not only that, I watched a video on, and I can't remember exactly who did it or whatever, but basically there were developers that were reacting to some of the stuff that has been released for the day before. And they mentioned this term, vertical slice. So I did a little bit of research into what a vertical slice is, and it's basically a part of the game that you're creating, and you use that to basically build up a bit of a portfolio about the game, what's going to be presented in the final release, and is normally used to like basically get attention for the game and to get like basically partners and stuff involved, to get funding for the game. So sponsors and companies that are going to work with you, like Nvidia, they're on board with the day before. So to be involved with each other, they need to come up with a partnership, and Nvidia have obviously given them some sort of funding to carry on making this game. They've been working on it for 4 years. We're 2 months away from the release, and this is all they have to show us. And this stuff here still looks scripted. Everything they've shown us for this game seems scripted. There's been no actual gameplay. We've been told there's gameplay, but we've seen a couple of clips. Like there was a little video a while back where there was some commentary and stuff. There were some people talking to each other like through game chat or whatever. They were using voice communication to talk to each other, and it was the most scripted thing ever. And this company, Fntastic, have the funding to make this game. Yet they are constantly calling out for volunteers. They want people to volunteer to work on the game free of charge. If you're making a game, like it's the most anticipated, like one of the most anticipated games on Steam, that's not console, that's just Steam. So the anticipation for this game is huge. I don't think there's a release date for console or anything like that. But with this game, there are so many people interested. They've got big companies on board with sponsorships and partnerships and everything like that. So they have, or they should have, the funding available to hire people. Yet they keep asking for people to volunteer to work with them. And they did this like 38-second clip of like what a volunteer is. And they just kept banging on about you, like when you sign up, you volunteer for life. All this stupid shit. But this is all we've got. A 58-second trailer 2 months before release. We had like a 20-second clip in a video that they were banging on about it being a grand event. There is nothing to this game. They haven't shown us actual portions of gameplay. They claim this is gameplay, but you can pre-render this sort of stuff. You can make it look like gameplay, and it's not actually part of a full-on game. You see how in this clip, because they state this is some big open world, you're free to explore and all that stuff. And you see this in the background. That sort of shows me that there's borders to this that could limit this to be, like this section here could be half the map. We don't know exactly what's going on. There's so much to this. And I am still like very, very highly thinking it's a scam. I don't think this is a genuine video game. It's very shady that Nvidia have jumped at this, but their video has comments and likes and dislikes and everything turned off. There is so much hate towards this game. There's so much anticipation, but there's so much hate because they are refusing to show us anything. And when you are 2 months from launch, if you have nothing to show, then there isn't a bigger red flag than that. The game could come out and it could be the best fucking MMO everyone's ever seen. But from what we've seen so far, it looks like The Division, The Last of Us, it's just got that vibe to it. There's probably stolen assets or something like that in this game somewhere. It's just so shady with everything that's going on. I do not believe this is a real game. I don't think March 1st is ever going to come for this game. I don't think this is ever going to be released. I think they're going to get to some point in February and say, oh, look, something went wrong. We've had to delay the game. It's coming out in December 2023 or something like that. And then it gets to December, they'll delay it again and it'll be going on for a few years until people just get fed up and then they stop. Because as soon as the day before started picking up hype, they they released Propnight. Propnight had a decent amount of hype, then it died down because of all the issues. People are matchmaking for 10 minutes, and then they start putting out updates for it to try and sustain that player base. But this is the second most wish-listed game on Steam. They have big partners involved. They're trying to get volunteers. Their track record is hideous. They've just got failed releases, abandoned games, 30-minute mobile games, and now they've come out with the most ambitious project I've seen in a while. We're 2 months from the release, and there's fuck all to show for it. Get out some early access. Let the public actually see what's going on. Because otherwise, why is there any other belief besides it being a scam? There isn't. For the people out there thinking this is a real game, I hope for your sake it is a real game, but I really cannot see that being the case. And I think they've basically just taken the biggest company they can find that's interested in their game. They've got them on board. A company like Nvidia, they are massive. They've got them involved to try and say, look, we've got this company here. It's a real game. But I think it's all vertical slice rubbish. I think they are just showing clips of what could at some point in 25 years be a full release. But I don't think this is coming out in March. We will have to wait and see. We're 2 months out. But I've got a strong feeling that there's going to be some sort of a delay or a cancellation or something like that. The funding they've got, they'll just take it and run. I reckon there's a lot of shady, dodgy shit going on with this. But that's my personal opinion. And what I want you guys to do is let me know your opinions in the comments. And check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.